Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sisters of the Muslimah Speaks tribe. My name is Fadila
Walaikum
Hassan,
salam.
and today, thank you so much, ma'am. And today, I will be moderating this panel session. Our topic for today, our theme for this panel section is data driven agriculture using technology to predict, prevent, and provide. So I have three panelists here with me. I have Sister Adebisi Aminat, I have Sister Nima Ibrahim, and I have Sister Roima Muhammad. Right, Raima Muhammad. Did I get it right? So thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you. Sister Adebisi Aminat is. I want to introduce one of them, each of them. So we have Sister Adebisi Aminat here. She is a passionate agriculture entrepreneur and advocate for sustainable agriculture, food security, and agricultural business innovation in Nigeria. She has a strong background in crop production and research experiences from IITA and Leverage Fresh. She founded Pamina Wellness to provide nutritious food from vitamin A rich sweet potatoes, empowering women farmers, youths, and empowering women farmers and youths. She's currently a officer, programs officer at Yali Naturals and Tony Elumelu Foundation. So, Assalamu alaikum, Sister Adebisi Aminat. You are welcome.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for having me.
And here we have Sister Roimot Mohammed. She's a program and portfolio manager with a strong background in finance, risk management, and strategic operations, especially within the agriculture and financial sector. She has built expertise in credit analysis, process improvement, and business strategy consistently, driving operational efficiency and team growth. Her experience span various roles where she has delivered impactful results, led high-performing teams, and embraced innovation to solve complex challenges. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Roima. I think she's out. You are welcome. Then we have Sister Nimat Ibrahim. She's an agroeconomist, passionate about helping farm holders to improve their productivity, to adapt to climate changes, and she currently works at Toba, where she trains farmers on regenerational agriculture on regenerational agriculture, and supports carbon credit innovation to build sustainable rural livelihood. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Nima Ibrahim. You are welcome.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, ma'am. So this panel session will dive into how technology and data are transforming agriculture, from predicting challenges and preventing lives to improve efficiency and ensuring food security. The goal is to help participants, people that are listening, and every one of us, especially to small and medium scale farmers, see how digital tools and data driven decision can reduce waste, boost productivity, and support smarter farming practices. So this session may also explore tools like mobile apps, weather forecasts, soil testing, crop monitoring system, and digital marketing. Through the diverse experience from every one of us here, We are going to listen to each other, ask questions, and we expect you to answer the questions based on your experiences and all. So, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You are welcome once again.
Walaikum salam.
Now,
Salam.
so I'll be diving into the first question directly while we wait for Sister Raimat to join us back. And so, number one, we have, what does data driven agriculture mean in Nigeria, and why does it matter now more than ever? So, Sister Aminat, let's hear from you. Did you get the question?
No.
Yes, I do.
All right, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Data-driven agriculture basically just means you using data analytics and technology that we have now to improve farming practices and the outcomes. Because presently, you collecting data and analyzing data from various sources. You can use sensors, you can use drones, you can even use weather information that you have access to within your locality to provide rural farmers with insights on how to optimize their own crop yields, how to improve their crop yields, how to manage their resources, and overall how to make their farming more efficiently. So it is about making more informed decisions based on the data that you have by collecting data. What do you have today? What do you have to improve tomorrow? Rather than relying solely on traditional methods. And the key aspect is you providing farmers, or even you, if you are a farmer that cultivates your own backyard farming in your environment, you can provide yourself insights such as maybe you getting data on the planting times, when you plant, when you will harvest, and the irrigation strategies that you can use. You can even also recommend use data to recommend fertilizer that are appropriate for your farming, and you can use data driven agriculture to also control pests and diseases. And it also helps in decision making as well. And in Nigeria of today, it is majorly the intentional use of your information well, how well you use information in farming. And it will also guide you to make smarter decisions in farming, from soil conditions to even improving market demand and overall productivities. It will help you to minimize losses. And now that more ever in Nigeria particularly needs data-driven agriculture, because most farmers, even the smallholder farmers, they face unpredictable climate conditions and limited access to inputs, which also make fluctuation market prices that we go to the market today, it's not the same price that we meet when we go tomorrow. So, for example, at Femina Wellness, we rely solely on data because we getting our raw material, which is the vitamin potato, is not available year round. So we rely heavily on data and trends to plan whenever we'll be getting our raw material, and also to help farmers plan well when it is best time for them to plant this potato, and which will also coordinate our own processing time. And it has majorly helped us to minimize waste in our production and aligns our supply with real-time demand for our products. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Amina. We really appreciate that. Sister Anima, should I repeat the question or you already have it?
Yeah, no, no worry, I edit. So
All right.
so Sister Aminat have already spoken extensively, so I'll just build on the background that she has built. So when we say driven agriculture, it just means using data to drive agricultural production. It involves the collection of data and using those data to make informed decision. So the data we are talking about, they include data like weather data, the data from the environment and weather, the data from crop performance such as crop growth patterns, crop health, data from the soil such as the moisture levels, the soil nutrient levels, and data like the microbial activities of the soil, and from livestock such as the feeding and breeding activities of the soil. All of these are data that are valuable in making informed decisions in agriculture. So why is this important at this moment? Well, there are many factors why data-driven agriculture is important, but the most important is in the aspect of climate variability. As of present, Nigeria is facing adverse climate adversities. There are many communities as of recent that are facing unpredictable weather conditions, erratic rainfall. So if those farmers had access to data-driven tools at the beginning of their farming, they would have made informed decisions, and they would have timed their planting to a time that would allow them to either escape this rainfall adversities that they are facing right now. So data is important in making informed decisions in agricultural production. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sister Nimat. We really appreciate that. And while we wait for Sister Raimat, we'll move to the second question. We'd like to hear, how can small farmers in Nigeria use data to predict things like weather, pests, or diseases? How can the farmers, small farmers, use data, like driven data, to predict the weather, to predict the disease, to predict pests and whatever it is that is affecting their agricultural growth? I'll go Sister Amina. Or is there anyone that wants to? Did you get the answer? Did you get the question? Sorry.
And
Should I come
smallholder
again?
farmers in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. How can smallholder farmers in Nigeria use data to predict things like weather, pests, or disease?
Yes.
Okay,
You are welcome, ma, Sister
okay,
Waima.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the network connection.
Yes, ma.
okay. You're welcome, ma.
All right,
So
Sister
thank you very
Amina.
much for the question. Thank you. Basically, farmers can leverage data to predict weather, pests, and diseases through various tools. We understand that these rural farmers might not have access to technology, but there are farmers that are also using smartphones now in the farms. So farmer can use all these mobile apps to that will provide them weather forecast, or what should be happening in the next 25 days, and that will help them to get details on temperature, rainfall, and humidity. They can also join organizations if they don't have access to all these mobile apps, because when you join organization of like-minded individuals, they share details, they share weather forecasts, they share insights as to when it's the next harvesting, when it's the next planting for particular crops. For example, I belong to some groups like that are combined farmers, smallholder farmers, people that have been in the agriculture for so long, and also representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture. So they share insights on when is the right planting season for particular crops. So smallholder farmers can tap into this information, and they can also listen to radio programs. There are some radio programs that are particularly focused on agriculture now. So they can also join WhatsApp groups that combine farmers and all other people in the agricultural sectors. And we have mobile apps like Hello Tractor that can give you insights on weather forecast and how you can use it for pest alerts. We also have apps like Plantix. Plantix can help you to identify what is happening to your crop and can even predict some preventive measures that you can take into giving you insights on how to get this pest, how to get rid of pests, on what you can do to eradicate disease on your farm. So farmers can work together. So the thing is working together as a group. You cannot work alone in isolation. So it's when you work together as farmer group, you will understand how moisture trends and rainfall can affect your next planting season. And we also have some local extensionists that go into these farms to educate farmers on what they can do, or to give them insights at what will benefit them. So we have some farmers that I work with in Osun State and Ekiti State. So basically, they use temperature data on their phones. to predict when is the next rainfall, and also to get updates into them trying to adjust their planting dates or prevent a particular disease in potato. So with all this, farmers can keep simple feed records. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much. Really appreciate. Sister Anima, please, are you here? Can you turn off your camera? Turn on your camera. Thank you. So the question is directed to Sister Roimat again. Did you get the question, or should I repeat it? The second question.
Please, you can repeat the question. I joined
All right,
later.
all right. So the question says, how can small farmers in Nigeria use data to predict things like weather, pests, or diseases?
Okay, thank you, Sister Fadila. I think Sister Amina has answered almost all the things we could actually point out, but I will just add one or two things to support responses. She has mentioned pest prediction. She has mentioned crop disease early detection. So the best way for her people to be able to manage all these things is
I think our network is disturbing again. Oh, she's out. Sister Anima, please, did you get the question, or should I repeat it?
I got the question.
All right.
So, like Sister Ramat said, Sister Aminat have already spoken a lot on how technology can help smallholder farmers. So farmers don't need sophisticated technology to make use of data-driven tools to make informed decision. So with access to trained extension agents and even with technology such as this torchlight handphones, farmers can get they can get information that they can use to make informed decisions. So we have companies like Tribe Agric and others that they make use of their trained extension agents and even through radio services or through SMS alerts to inform farmers on important weather informations. This will allow them to make informed decisions on when to plant. They will know when there will be an incident of drought. So they will know when to irrigate, when to spray herbicide, and when to do all other farming practices in such a way that their input will not be wasted. And secondly, we have apps like Harvest. There are some apps that I've forgotten the name. So there are apps that allow farmers to take pictures of anomalies on their feed. So if a plant is suffering from a particular disease, or let's say it is infested by pests, they snap it on their phone, and that app automatically brings out recommendation in terms of what they can use to prevent, to either eradicate or cure that particular disease. So all of these are the tools that can help farmers to um, to make informed decisions and to also to protect themselves from all of these erratic weather and environmental conditions that might affect their yield. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. And so we'll get back to Sister Roimat regarding the question. Let's hear. The network was bad. Ah, God. So can you continue, ma?
let's go to the next question so that we don't waste too much of our time. Then I
All
can
right.
take it from there.
All right, all right. So the third question says, what are some of the real ways technology has helped farmers prevent losses on their farm?
Okay, let me start with that.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Preventing loss starts with precision and preparedness. And here is how we can actually look into it. If you are talking about how we can prevent all these losses our farmers are involved in, I remember last year there was drought in this region, and farmers, the yield was not so encouraging like it used to be. But how could we have actually prevented this if we had prepared well? Because I remember that particular year, there was nothing like weather forecast. We did not consider that, even though we were hearing it, that there will be droughts last year. Even this year, the same thing. We had to prepare this year. Last year, we didn't prepare. But this year, we had to prepare because farmers, a lot of our farmers, they ran at loss last year. So preparedness is also very important. This year, what we were able to do differently to ensure that what happened last year won't happen this year was to ensure that there is proper monitoring of what is going to happen, like weather forecast. Farmers can actually subscribe to all these platforms where they can get first-hand information. Like Sister Amina said, the last question, she said people can actually join groups where they can get real-time information on what is happening. If you are a farmer, you don't look at joining a group of bankers. Maybe I should put it that way. Because somebody like me, I have a financial background before I joined the agri sector. And I can say that immediately I joined the agri sector, my priority is what is happening in the agricultural industry. Even though I still have interest in what is happening in the financial sector. So looking at little things like weather forecast, how do we manage our planting time, what are the kind of fertilizer we should apply, things like this, they are very important. Drone and satellite monitoring. If you look at for drone detects dry patches or pest infestations early on the farm. I know that for some of our smallholder farmers, they may not have access to this. But we also have people who have advanced in the farming sector, in the agricultural sector, who have advanced. You look at as little as the digital soil testing kits. This kind of things we can look at, all this kind of little equipment that we can use to ensure that this is the kind of soil you have on your land. I remember there was a particular time somebody within my team was telling me that all these farmers, they just apply fertilizer. They don't understand that they have a fertile land in this region. They don't need fertilizer. When you know the kind of soil you want to plant on, it should help us to know what quantity of fertilizer you want to apply. Do we actually need fertilizer? What kind of fertilizer do we apply? Also, if we look at storage for farmers, when you harvest, how do you ensure you do storage? All these things, they are also very important. If you look at for storage, perishable crops like tomatoes, we can consider using a smart solar cold rooms in order to have a good storage facility. Because even if we look at the country now, power is not something you can actually rely on. That is NEPA. You can't rely on them. But if you are able to come up with as little as a smart solar cold room, there won't be any issue with, oh, there is no power today, there is no power tomorrow. When we harvest our crops, we can easily find somewhere to store it without power outbreak. We have stable power source to manage all these things. So for me, it's very important that we have that preparedness. We are conscious of how we want to operate. We don't just go into farming for farming's sake. We need to be intentional about it now. How do we want to go about it? What is our goal? And what is the level of interest is also very important. Farming now goes beyond just going to our backyard to plant small pots of tomato. Farming now entails quite a lot of money. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. Now we move to Sister Nima Ibrahim. On the same question, we want to hear your view.
Okay, so On that topic, much has been spoken, so I'll just add a little to the foundation that has been set. So, in ways through which technology has really helped farmers to prevent losses, I will talk more on the use of drones and sensors. So, we don't have that in Nigeria, but in advanced countries where they have a lot of technology, they are able to make more informed decisions because they have this technology at hand. It is readily accessible to them. So on their farms, even their smallholder farmers, they have access to this technology, unlike the situation we are facing here in Nigeria, where even a farmer does not have access to a mobile phone. So in such areas, in such advanced countries, you see a farm with sensors and drones, where the sensors can automatically detect factors like the moisture levels of the soil. So once the sensor detects it and see that the moisture has gone down to a particular level, it sends a signal, and then the machine that has been set up automatically starts irrigating that farm. So it also irrigates to a level where it reaches the optimal level and then it stops. This is also used in terms of fertilizer application. It uses site-specific application, and even for herbicide and other inputs. So farmers don't just apply it and waste their inputs, because with the rising cost of inputs, they cannot just be applying inputs anyhow without knowing where to apply it. So when we have this data, when we have sensors that are monitoring these farms, they are monitoring the conditions of the farm, they can make informed decisions, and farmers are not wasting their money on buying inputs with the rising cost of inputs now. So they are able to make more informed decisions. Then on the aspect of post-harvest loss, so just like Sister Remat said, in places where technology are more advanced, we have cold storage rooms, that we have sensors that monitor the environmental conditions of the produce that are stored in those storage facilities, so that if the temperature is low, the sensors automatically increases the temperature, and if it is too much, it automatically reduces it, so that the plants there, even for perishable crops like vegetables and fruits, they can be stored for a longer period of time without post-harvest loss. So these are some of the ways that technology has helped farmers to prevent losses. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, that was very insightful. So we'll move to the next question, and I'll be directing that to Sister Aminat. How do we make sure rural farmers benefit from data, tools, even with poor access to smartphone or the internet? Sister Aminat, did you get that?
Yes, I do.
All right.
So thank you very much. Farmers can make sure that they benefit from tools, even with poor access to smartphone or internet. Firstly, as a farmer that is in the rural area, you must leverage what rural farmers to have, because they have radios, they have interpersonal networks with cooperatives in the society. They should have relationship with extension agents. Extension agents goes now to rural communities to educate them. We have cooperatives that they can join in their own community, and we also have NGOs that goes into rural communities that also act as interpreters of this data insights to the rural farmers. We partner with farmers group as a food processing company, and we also trained youths. We train women in the rural area that do not have access to this smartphone or internet. We serve as their own digital intermediaries, and that's what some NGOs are really focusing on now, even the extension agents. So farmers in rural areas that do not have access to these smartphones or internet, NGOs, food companies, extension agents can serve as their own digital intermediaries. The best thing for rural farmers that do not have access to this technology is to have a network of people they join. They should have cooperatives, because whenever these NGOs want to work with rural farmers, they go directly to cooperatives that are already in existence in that particular community. So accessing this information will be like intermediaries between those people that have access to the internet and the rural farmers that do not have access to this internet. So they give them forecasts, they give them insights, they give them planting guides, and whenever people go like that, they print visuals. They go with printed papers that will enable farmers to see visuals and also to be able to break down some key messages to them that these farmers are not able to access since they do not have smartphone. So during the training, some of the training that we've embarked on, we make sure that we teach these farmers on rain cycles. Though they have idea on whenever the rainy cycles during the year. So we also leverage this information by making sure that they see visuals, they see pictorial charts that will enable them to see how they can prevent spoilage in their own produce. So basically, inclusivity means using appropriate tech. It's not always the high tech using smartphones, but make sure that you belong to a group of cooperatives and you will always get access to this information even without smartphones.
All right. To Sister Roimat, let's hear from you, ma.
Thank you. Okay, in addition to what Sister Amina said, when you talk about inclusion, aside also looking at the kind of people we are dealing with, we also need to also understand the kind of language they speak, coming down to their level, communicating in the language they understand. For instance, if you go to Igbo land, you should ensure that when you are communicating, you should communicate in their language. All these radio programs, all these extension agents that we said we want to use that can be of help, they need to communicate in the language they also understand. Also, the fact that there is no connectivity when we talk about the category of people we are looking at here, people who do not have access to smartphones. Also, offline data syncing is also very important. There are several apps where that we can use that can be used to enroll, to register data, farmer data information, even without 4G network, because there are some areas where you hardly see all these things. They are not even available. You see farmers using all these small touchlight phones. We need to come down to their level. Sending SMS, when you want to do a forecast, it should go as simple as they receiving SMS alerts to tell them this is the right time to plant due to this particular forecast. This is the quantity of input you need to apply to your crop when you are planting. All these things, they are also very important. And they are also trained agro dealers that serve as human data channels. They help in interpreting data, all these weather or market forecasts for illiterate farmers. All these things farmers can leverage on them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, ma. That was very insightful. Sister Anima, do you have anything that you want to input on the same question? Do you have anything that you want to?
Okay, yes. So to bring this technology to the farmers, to the small older farmers, because to be sincere, the bulk of the food we consume in Nigeria, they're produced by these small older farmers that are in rural communities. And it's very difficult to get this technology across to them. So when building this technology, we must put inclusion. We must consider that the people we are building this technology for, they might not understand how to use it or how to go about it. So we must be able to include their specific realities into the technology we are bringing to them. Then, apart from inclusion, we should also use extension agents or the people we call lead farmers. So these are the people that they serve as intermediary between the technology and the farmers. So they might have some level of understanding and will be able to translate whatever technology they are taking to the farmers. They're able to translate it in the local dialects that the farmers will understand. So using extension agents and lead farmers, those extension agents and lead farmers are trained on the latest technology, on how to go about planting, how to go about preventing losses on the farm, and they take it from there and take it to the farmers and they explain to them in languages that the farmers will be able to comprehend, not in complex way. So while building all of these technologies, we must include the rural farmers because they are the one producing the bulk of what we eat, and not us that understands English and how to use technology. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That was really enlightening. So we move to the last question, and we'll be directing this to Sister Rahimat first. The question says, if you could give one tech solution to farmers by the next planting season, what would it be and why? Did you get that?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
All
All
right,
right.
thank
So if I could give one tech solution, the simple thing I will rather offer is solar powered weather and planting advisory system delivered via SMS and voice in local languages. And this is why I will say this, because if we look at it, weather is everything in agriculture. A bad planting date or mistimed input use due to unpredictable rain can wipe out it can wipe out an entire harvest if we look at it. So for me, what I would suggest that I would have offered if I'm to offer a tech solution will be that solar powered weather and planting advisory system. And what it will do, we need to understand what this will do. It will help to predict the local weather like 3 to 5 days in advance. It will help to predict that. It will also recommend planting and fertilizer day. It will also alert the expected pest or disease outbreaks that farmers could encounter. So also work on basic phones using text and voice messages. It will also handle that. These are things it will do because a typical example could use Ghana. I'm very sorry I had to bring in Ghana. There was a particular year, over 300,000 farmers use a particular SMS-based advisory system, and it helped them to get, I think, around 11 to 25% increase in yield just by shifting planting dates. So imagine if they were not able to get all these details that, okay, based on the weather forecast, this is the time to plant. This is the quantity of rainfall that is going to that we are going to have in this particular year. So based on the advisory they were able to get that particular year, they were able to decide that, okay, this is the period where we should plant. This is the best planting time for us. And at the end of the day, it helped them to increase their yield. So for me, weather is everything in agriculture now, and we need to start taking it seriously. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That was insightful. So we move to Sister Nimat Ibrahim. Any input on the same question? What do you have to say?
Thank you. So I was going to say weather advisory because, like Sister Rema had said, agric is dependent on weather. There is no two way about it. We need good weather, we need rainfall, we need sunlight, we need all of this to get good harvest, to get yield. So if I'm going to offer a solution to farmers, it would be weather advisory. That would be first. Then secondly, it would be insurance, because while we are able to use data to predict future occurrences, to predict drought, to predict losses, sometimes we should not lie to ourselves that nature is unpredictable sometimes and we cannot always get right. So in cases where they got weather advisory services and they use it, and then this erratic weather conditions, drought, it still happens, flood, in case it still happens, then we should have an insurance that will cover some of these losses for the farmers. Like I mentioned at the beginning, in some parts of northern Nigeria, there are some communities that are presently facing adverse drought. And it would interest you to know that some of these communities that are currently facing droughts, they also faced flooding at the beginning of the rainy season. So it's now surprising that a community that was able to have enough rainfall to cause flooding is now witnessing drought. So farmers in those communities are currently sad because they are counting their losses already. So if weather advisory will not help those farmers, then there should be an insurance that will be able to cover the losses for them so that it will not discourage them from farming and they can always go ahead and farm in the coming season. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Then we move to Sister Adebisi Aminat.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
If I would advise that, or if I'm the one that wants to give one tech solution to farmers, I will give them a digital marketplace, because we all know that some rural farmers, especially smallholder farmers, go through post-harvest losses when they do not have a places to sell their market. So I'll provide them a digital marketplace, something like a simplified version that they will be able to use, tailored for their own particular crop that they are doing. Why? Because it addresses three core needs. It will help them to plan for markets, it will help them to prevent post-harvest loss, and it will also increase their own profits. Farmers can use this platform to pick the right planting date and also to connect with buyers across Nigeria and beyond. And this will help them to align their own production cycle to what particularly the market needs. So it will serve as a platform for them that will help them to connect with other farmers, to learn from them, and it will also improve their own sale of their agricultural products, because we can not only do business with face-to-face marketing, and these farmers from the rural community do not really have access to the urban cities to see their markets. So it help them to focus on direct consumer sales and also for a global transactions all year round. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. And that will be all for this panel section. I hope we've been able to pick one or two, and I hope it has been enlightening, because from my end, we have Sister Oimot mentioned something about weather is everything in agriculture. We have to, the weather, the climate change has a very huge impact that it does on when to plant and how to plant and the results of whatever it is that we are planting, or whatever it is that we are doing with agriculture. And Sister Adebisi Aminat too also mentioned about technology tools that you can use for climate climate forecast, weather forecast, pest control, and all of that. My sister Ibrahim Nimas also mentioned about flood, drought, and how those things can affect and how they can be prevented to affect our agricultural growth. Thank you so much, sisters, for joining this section. We really, really appreciate you, and we hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we enjoyed listening to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oh, everyone.
Jazakumullah Khairan. In fact, the session is so loaded and interesting. A lot of points, a lot of suggestion. As in, it was just very mind blowing. I say barakallah fit to our panelists. The session was
Thank you
really,
so
really
much, ma'am.
insightful. Jazakumullah Khairan, and we hope that we can always come back to you when we need you another time, inshallah. And on that note, we come to the end of this session. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
So,